Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Today I am reviewing the new Netflix exclusive, The Conference. And I know what some of you are probably sitting there thinking. Film Geek, are you still not feeling well? Is that why you're not getting out to the movie theaters? No, actually I'm feeling well. I'm recovering quite well from my surgery. And I probably would go see new movies in theaters this weekend if there was any new movies in the theater this weekend. It seems that Travis Kelce's girlfriend has some kind of show, or I think they said tour or something. I'm not quite sure what the woman does. But whatever she does, I'm sure she does it well, because she has sold out every movie theater with her little show in the Kansas City area. And I believe this is a nationwide thing too, because I heard that the movie Saw X was released last weekend because it didn't want to compete with the show that she's putting on. So I guess good for her for being such huge competition. Saw X didn't want anything to do with you. Alright, so what is the movie The Conference all about? Well, it's a story about a conference, and it takes place over in Sweden. In fact, this film is Swedish. It's a slasher film, and what it is a bunch of people who are municipal workers. I believe that means government worker in Sweden. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. So a group of government workers get together for this team building conference, and wouldn't you know it, but a pesky slasher in a really weird, kind of cartoony mask shows up and starts raising havoc and killing them off one by one. So this sounds like a really fun film, and it fits in with the holiday season as it is. So enough of me sitting here jibber jabbing and talking. It is time for me to get my happy butt up over here and then go over there. Just literally, I'm just gonna go right over there. All right. See you guys soon. And I'm back. Not like I really went anywhere. I just walked back over to my desk from my futon, which is literally in front of me, but you know, I still don't know how to introduce myself coming back from these streaming videos. You know, when I go to the movie theater, I actually go somewhere, so when I say, hey, I'm back, I'm actually coming back from something. So I'll figure it out someday, I guess. Alright, so what are my feelings on this film? I really enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. It was fun, but it does have a couple of issues. Well, maybe just one issue. So let's get into this, shall we? So we're going to start off with the negatives and then end with the positives, so the video ends on the ever so important high note. Alright, so the one thing about this movie that's a little bit of a problem is it's a bit slow in the beginning. Now, there is some build-up, and of course you have to have characterization, you have to have building to the events that are about to unfold, but it does seem like it takes a little while to get there. I didn't clock it or anything like that, or check the time, like, oh, it doesn't start getting crazy until this moment in the movie. I just kind of watched it and was just like, man, this is kind of dragging a little bit. Now, there's things that are going on in the first act of this film. You know, there are some kills and some suspense and all is building up, but it just seems like it's going along quite slow. And then when this movie goes, boy, oh boy, it goes. It just starts tearing through, and it just becomes an absolute blast. Now, I was also expecting this film to be a bit funnier. It is supposed to be a horror comedy, but I feel like it leaned a lot more into the horror aspect, not so much into the comedy. I was more or less expecting something like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, where it's a nice good blend of both horror and comedy. You got a lot of great kills, a lot of great violence, mixed in with some very funny moments. Now, there are some funny moments in this film, but a lot of them are just kind of like chuckle moments. They're not something that is too kind of out of the ordinary with slasher films. So calling it a horror comedy isn't quite accurate. It just felt more like a straight up slasher to me. There are some moments of levity, a couple of jokes here and there, but not enough in my opinion to consider this thing a comedy. So what is the horror like? Alright, well, let's get into the positives of this film. First off, there is a lot of fun kills in this movie, and I always know I sound like a complete maniac whenever I go like, oh, the kills are just great. But yeah, that's kind of part of the slasher film genre, is how were the kills, or horror genres in general. Ooh, what are the kills like? So yeah, not crazy, I promise. So the kills in this are really well done. Like I said, there's a very kind of dry point at the beginning of the film, and everything seems kind of typical, and then you're just kind of like, oh, it's gonna be one of those where he just kind of bumps into people randomly and stabs them in the gut, and the guy goes, and then like slowly falls off of the knife or something like that. But don't worry, guys. It gets bonkers. There is a lot of creative kills in this, and let's say the slasher in this film does not just stick to one type of murder weapon. They move all over the board. And the mask, yes, it is kind of a cartoony, goofy looking mask, but it makes sense when you see the movie, and it actually works well once it starts going. Once they kind of let you know what that mask is all about, and once he starts using it as his mask, it really helps the film, and it really makes the slasher's appearance a little more understandable when you watch after you watch the film. So everything about this movie was a lot of fun to watch. It just wasn't necessarily funny, just fun. The practical effects in this film are very good. There are a lot of just very gruesome, gory kills in this film, and the practical effects really help the solid look of the entire thing. It really does add a lot of more depth and effect to the film when you do use more of a practical effect, especially in a slasher movie. There is no CGI that I saw. There might have been a little bit, but it was pretty well blended in there if it was, so good job there. The film itself looks very good. It's very well shot. There's a lot of excellent long shots, some really great filming that makes you feel very close and, confined in the moments that you want to. The filming of this movie does a good job of building up dread and suspense and things of that sort. So all in all, I do feel that this movie is a confident slasher. If you want to watch something that may be a little bit different than you're used to around the Halloween time, this is a solid film. So yeah, this is my judgment. My final judgment on this movie is this is a definite check it out. I mean, all you have to worry about is losing an hour and 40 minutes of your time, and who doesn't have Netflix anymore? Alright guys, well that's all I have for you today. If you have the moment, check out The Conference. It's a solid watch here in the spookiest of seasons. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna. Oh, Jesus, it is 4 o'clock in the morning, by the way. I thought this movie started at midnight on Netflix. It started at 2 a.m. All right, guys, I've got to get out of here. Good night.